Cain was sitting at the kitchen table having a bowl of cereal when he went into a zone. He started reliving some of his most painful memories. Any noise in the apartment was blocked out as he was completely immersed in his past, staring straight ahead. An emotionless expression was trapped on his face as he once again was in that Russian house where he terminated the life of Dmitri Kurylenko and his young son. For a while, he was able to somehow keep that regretful night out of his mind, but lately it had returned, and more often than before. It seemed he had dreams about it at least once a week. Once Cain pulled the trigger on the younger Kurylenko, the memory slowly faded into white space, and a new memory began. He imagined Dmitri Kurylenko firing those shots that penetrated the door and lodged into Heather's midsection. The vision was just as vivid as if he were there himself when it happened. He was suddenly in the hospital, watching as they put Heather in a body bag, zipping it over her head. Cain pulled out a gun and began firing, shooting the hospital attendants, yelling about not taking Heather away from him. He felt a hand wrap around his wrist, trying to break him from his trance. The touch on his skin snapped him out of it as he grabbed the wrist. Cain looked up, a little dazed and confused, taking a few seconds to recognize who it was standing next to him. "Are you okay?" "Yeah," Cain answered, not sure whether he actually was or not. "The visions again?" Cain sighed. "Yeah." She reached down and hugged him, holding him tight. "I wish there was something I could do to help you get rid of them," she told him. "I don't think there's anything you can do. I don't think there's anything anyone can do. They're just part of me now. I have to live with it." "But you shouldn't have to." "I'll gladly deal with it every day for the rest of my life, as long as I still have you in it," Cain said. Heather smiled. Even after surviving a near-death experience, she never wavered in her love for Cain. An hour away from death, once Cain entered the room and sat next to her, holding her hand, her vitals improved. He stayed by her side, day and night, for 4 months until she was well enough to leave the hospital. He didn't go on any missions and basically refused to do anything at all until she was out of danger. Though Heather never blamed him for anything, Cain always felt he was responsible. If she wasn't with him, then she never would have been put in that situation, he thought. They figured that was partly why he kept having his nightmares, because he felt everything that happened was his fault. "When are you going to stop blaming yourself?" Heather asked. "I don't know. I don't know if I ever will." "Matt, not one time have I ever questioned us or you. Not once. My life before you was nothing. You know that. I've never blamed you for what happened, and I never will. It's been a year since it happened. So why do you keep beating yourself up over it?" "Because I can't get over that I almost lost you. You're the only person that's meant anything to me, and I just can't accept that you were almost killed because of me. You lost 9 months of your life because of me. 4 months in a hospital bed and 5 more of rehab and recovery. I can't just pretend that it didn't happen," Cain replied. Heather sighed and looked down, upset in knowing that she was unlikely to change his outlook no matter how hard she tried. Things weren't quite the same between them since she got out of the hospital. Though they still loved each other and hardly argued, Cain brooded more. Heather was still pretty much the same person she was before, always trying to see the positive and staying upbeat, but Cain's darker side had emerged a little more. He never unleashed it in her direction, but she sometimes found him just sitting in a corner, staring into space, waking up in a bad mood for no reason, punching holes in the wall, or walking around like he was about to knock the head off the next person he saw. She worried about him getting worse. Heather looked at her phone and started moving. "Oops, I didn't realize what time it was," she said, putting her phone in the back pocket of her jeans. "I gotta get going." "Where are you going?" "I told you this morning. Were you not listening?" Heather asked playfully. No, I guess not." "I told you I'm going to the park to meet a friend."